Hi. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, as the case might be. I'm Chaitan Baru. I'm a senior advisor in the Technology, Innovation, and Partnerships Directorate at the National Science Foundation. We are the directorate that is supporting these workshops and the related activities. So I wanted to take a few minutes, since unfortunately I'm not able to be physically present at the meeting, to just take a few minutes to give you an introduction very quickly about the TIP Directorate, but also what our goals and hopes and objectives are for this project and these set of meetings. So let's get started. If you go to the National Science Foundation website, for example, the first thing you will see there is this statement about innovation anywhere and opportunity everywhere. So this is what you, our director at NSF, Dr. Panchanathan, talks about, is how do we support innovation across the whole nation, across all sectors and all regions of the country, and how do we provide opportunity for everyone? So that remains to be a grand challenge in today's world. And NSF over the years, next year NSF is going to be celebrating its 75th anniversary. So it was formed in 1950. And over the years, NSF has been well recognized as the agency that's the first agency in the federal government to support basic research in science and engineering, science and technology of all fields, areas. And of course, there have been many achievements over those decades that can be attributed to the funding support that NSF has provided. And here's an example of a few: imaging of the first black hole, detection of gravitational waves, creation of the web, creation of the semiconductor industry, and so on and so forth. So undoubtedly, the investments that NSF has done in basic research over the decades has resulted in great contributions and improvements to our economy and the general well-being. When NSF was formed, the mission for NSF was, as shown here, promoting the progress of science, advancing the national health, prosperity, and welfare, and securing the nation's defense. Actually, these were all in the original 1950 mission of NSF, and they continue to be part of our mission. Of course, after NSF was formed, subsequently other agencies, other R&D agencies have been formed in the federal government, including, for example, DARPA, NIH centers, and so on and so forth. But these three pillars continue to be the mission that drives NSF even today. The TIP Directorate that sits within NSF was formed only 2 years ago, and it was formed as part of the CHIPS and Science Act that was passed in 2022 on August 9th. And the directorate is different from all the other directorates that are at NSF, which are, as I mentioned, really supporting basic research, much of it in academia. The goal of the TIP Directorate is to look at research results and see how we can move them down towards societal impact. Obviously, there are many pathways by which that can be done, but also there are many issues as you take those different pathways. What does it mean to take research and then have eventual impact on society? So if you look at the TIP Directorate's mission, it's to harness the nation's vast and diverse talent pool to advance critical and emerging technologies, address pressing societal and economic challenges, and accelerate the translation of research results from lab to market and society. TIP is supposed to help improve the US competitiveness, grow the economy, and train a diverse workforce for future high-wage jobs. So that's sort of the mission under which all of the programs that are in the TIP Directorate operate. And I'm just giving you a sample of some of the programs that are in our directorate to show that a lot of things that we do have a national footprint, or we are certainly aware of, how do we support these activities across all regions of the country. So the maps here are shown I'm not going to get into the details of each of these programs. If you go to our website, there's plenty of information there. But one of our programs that we started in 2019 is called the Convergence Accelerator, which was a program that was run out of Washington. Every year we put out a solicitation. It is now rolling out to become a regional program. So what we have actually done is from our side, based on certain criteria, we divided the country into 10 non-overlapping regions. And then now the idea in going forward is that each of these regions will have its own accelerator that can focus on the issues of that region. So that's one example. Of course, the other already well-known big regional program is the Regional Innovation Engines, also called NSF Engines, where projects can receive up to $160 million over 10 years to start innovation ecosystems in a given region. In this case, the region is actually defined by the project, not by us, but the people who submit proposals. They will identify that this area of the country is primed and ready to go, both in terms of industry, workforce, training, universities, colleges, etc., to jumpstart in a particular area or a sector of industry, and this boost that we receive through this funding will help that region. Another program we have is called Partnerships for Innovation, which is really a program to encourage university research to move that research, to help them move that research that they're doing down towards the marketplace. So the PFI program gives help, training, and other kinds of resources to help make this happen. And that last map shows you that there are 10 hubs across the country, PFI hubs, that cover almost all the states. A few states are not covered, but they cover almost all the regions across the country. So these are examples of national scale efforts that we support. So let's come straight to the current project we're talking about under which these workshops are being run, the Innovation Culture and Creativity Project. The thing that sort of motivated us to think about this is, in fact, this statement that we have about innovation anywhere. So if you want to support innovation anywhere, you sort of wonder, what is the relationship between having an innovative economy or an innovative region and the culture that is in that region, right? So what is the interplay of the two across communities around the country or communities of practice? The question is, how does innovation begin and how is it sustained? Things might start up, but what are the kinds of things that keep it going? Now, in the abstract, you can argue, of course, that humans as a species, we are innovative. That in a way that sort of distinguishes us from all the other species is that we are innovating all the time in various different ways. But of course, here we are talking about a specific form of innovation in the context of an individual or community's health, prosperity, and welfare. So, what is the innovation that helps the health, prosperity, and welfare of an individual or a community? And that goes back to the original mission that I showed you earlier about of NSF, which just cover these regions, these areas, these topics. And we are doing it in the context of STEM, science and technology, because fundamentally NSF is an agency that supports STEM research. So the question is, how does or how would or how should culture influence the shape of technologies and the ethics therein, right? What comes out of it? What are the results? How is it done? What are the impacts? What are the effects? And nowadays, we talk a lot. I'm sure you've heard a lot of discussion in society today about being responsible or ethical with AI, AI being the technology that's just swept society. But you can talk about being responsible and ethical in all cases, on all technologies, and how all of the cultural aspects and ethics is connected to culture, and how cultural aspects might actually shape those technologies. And I just want to note that in TIP, we just created a program, we just finished the first year of the competition and about to announce awards in a program called Responsible Design, Development, and Deployment of Technologies, all technologies. So it's an area that we are interested in. So based on all of those kind of ideas, we decided to support this project, which is being run out of UCLA. And what the project is really doing is, in some sense, on behalf of these ideas that we had at NSF, running regional workshops across the country to sort of get a sense of, what's happening in different regions, how are people thinking about this. So I won't read through all of these, but there are 7 regional workshops, yours being one of them, that are being run all the way from Hawaii to New York City and all points in between, on a variety of different topics. You can either look at this video or slide later, or if you go to the UCLA's website, icc.ucla.edu, all of this information is available. We intend to follow this up. The project will work, and NSF folks will work with them to have an industry summit of the creative industries. That's entertainment, streaming, and gaming, along with not just the companies, but the significant labor workforce that is part of that sector. And that'll be in October, on October 18th, in LA. The LA County Department of Economic Opportunity has offered their site for holding this meeting. And then all of the outcomes from your workshops, the summit, we want to take them all together and have a national convening workshop in December of this year, which will be at UCLA. So, of course, we are looking forward to reports that come out of each of these individual workshops and the kind of ideas and directions you think we should be taking, so that we can discuss all of those in one common forum in December. So that's all I had to say in terms of introduction. Hopefully that was a very quick introduction to NSF, TIP, and the ICC project and what's coming up. Would really like to thank all of the organizers of the regional workshops. Our UCLA team has certainly spent a lot of effort and time in soliciting the workshops, doing the reviews, and awarding a fabulous set of workshops. I'm sure we could have funded a lot more if we had more money for it. It's always the case, but we had to pick some. So we have 7 of these workshops, as I said, from Hawaii to New York City. And also thanks very much to Professor Jeff Burke at UCLA and Professor Jennifer Jacobs at UC Santa Barbara for helping us for doing this project and helping us with all of these ideas. So I'll stop with that. My email is here, cbaru@nsf.gov. Feel free to send me any emails, any questions you have. We also have the TIP email if you have questions in general about TIP, and please do visit our website. So I will stop the presentation with that, and thank you.